Bronny's Legacy Episode 2 is finally here. First, let me give you a 30-second recap of Episode 1. We started out as a 60 overall, obviously. We went out, we did our daily spins, we did a whole bunch of different quests. We were upgrading like crazy. We played a ton of MyCareer, and I mean a ton. But when you're just starting out, it's definitely the easiest way to upgrade. We also ended up switching it up, doing any kind of side quests we could do, getting our endorsements, side quests, everything like that done, get the extra VC. We ended up completely maxing out our shooting in Episode 1, and we also got blessed by the Halloween event from 2K, but that brings us to Episode 2. And for the beginning of Episode 2 here, I did want to start out showing you guys where we ended. We are at a 71 overall. Here's the attributes for that, but the big piece is the VC. We ended last video with 116 VC. And between the first episode of the Bronny series and this one, I have played on other builds. My VC amount has changed, but I will be keeping track of the VC we used throughout this entire video. Showing you a clip of the end of every game that I played so you know exactly how much VC is adding up. But just remember, this is the base amount, and I'll be referring back to this a few times throughout the video. So I talked about it a ton in the first video, but you want to make sure you're doing your daily spins every single day. A lot of times during this Bronny series, I'm getting free VC for my build. Even if it's just 1,000 or 2,500, it adds up. As you can see, we get 1,000 here, and it's definitely going to help our build progress way faster. This might look like last video, looking at my quests again, stuff like that, but I'm definitely still going to be doing those throughout the series. Don't worry though, later on it does switch up. I bring this build to Rec and Pro-Am. We finally got good enough to play against real online people. But first, I'm going to knock out the stuff that gives decent VC and is very easy to get. So we're gonna go ahead and do our weekly race, get another 2,500 VC. One thing I have started to notice that you'll see throughout the video is after this 70 overall, the overalls go up a lot slower. So getting right into our first upgrade here, as you can see, VC is at 207,411, which gives us 3,500 VC to play with. We're gonna use that for an upgrade right at the beginning of the video here. I wanted to start knocking out perimeter defense so we're able to guard people when we are playing online. And I knew I was gonna be playing in Pro-Am right away, so I wanted to get that up as high as possible. I took a few clips at the end of these Pro-Am games, as you can see, and you will be seeing, but we were really not playing that well. Like, coming out as a 71 overall, can't play defense, can't pass, can't dribble. At this point, I still didn't have my finishing upgraded, which changes throughout the video. Trust me, we do end up maxing our driving dunk, as you'll see later on. But before any of that stuff was upgraded, we were kind of getting tossed. Our Pro-Am team with Clutch is ranked like 11th in the world or something, and we were losing over and over again. The build really just isn't good enough yet to compete at the highest level, which you really can't expect it to when it's a brand new build. But we do end up getting some crazy highlights in the Rec later on, so stay tuned for that. But to be fair, we really weren't losing every single game. Like you see here, we got a win. Shout out to my teammates. Honestly, playing with a 70 overall that can't really do anything except for catch and shoot shots is not easy. But since we did max shooting in Episode 1, we are able to knock down those open shots whenever we get them. So I'm not a complete liability, but it's definitely still not easy to win games with me on the team. As you can see here, we ended up losing that one too, but we're still racking up VC. Even during the losses, we're getting like 400-ish VC, which is really good for a no money spent series because playing a MyCareer game gets me about 700 or 800, and the games in Pro-Am are much faster. But after we lost a few in Pro-Am, I did end up coming back to MyCareer, just trying to get my build up a little bit more, get our free guaranteed 700 or 800 VC every game. And I did kind of change my method as it pertains to MyCareer throughout the video. I'll explain that a little bit more later, but as you can see, we headed to Brickley's gym, got our 3-on-3s in, and I think the reward for this was like 500 VC or something. I've been working on a lot of these side quests throughout the series, and for how easy they are, some of them pay very well. But with the Pro-Am, MyCareer, and some side quests, we end up with 3,505 VC to spend on upgrades, and we are going right back to that perimeter defense. I want to get that as high as possible, especially since I know I'll be playing more online later in the video. So we spend about 3,000 of it, leaving us about 500. I'll keep you guys updated on that. But then I did end up trying to go to random Rec, but since I had a black plate and I was such a low overall, I could not get a team. You know, I only took one clip to show you that I was trying, but I sat in here for a good 15 or 20 minutes. People would leave, they'd come back in. It was the same 3 guys that kept getting put on a team. This is one of the bigger issues that I see with skill-based matchmaking, but I guess it makes sense. I just wish there was more people to play with when you're this low overall. But I did end up going to starting 5 here, as you can see, which was extremely hard. I don't have enough ball handle to get my own shot, and I'm losing by 11 in the second quarter. But ball gets swung over to me, and right as I'm about to shoot, the guy leaves the match. I don't know if he got lagged out or kicked out or what, but we will take that free VC real quick. And then once I realized it was really hard to do starting 5 without any ball handle, I went back to MyCareer to try to get my ball handle up a little bit. And I don't remember if it's this game or where it's at in the video, but at some point I did end up switching my MyCareer strategy up. Before, I was playing every single game. I wasn't simming to key games. I wasn't doing anything like that. I was playing every single game all the way through until I found out you can sim to the key game games, win the championships, get VC faster. And then there's all kinds of like off-season stuff you can do, which I do think I end up talking about later in the video, but I just wanted to mention that I did change my strategy up. And this pop-up for the Letterman jacket actually reminded me about like the GOAT tiers and Dynasty tiers in MyCareer, which once you reach those and start progressing through them, you also get VC bonuses for that. Also got a 500 VC quest there for changing the playbook. And then I started getting into these matchup games or jersey swap games. So this one I was playing against Victor, and if I ended up outperforming him with teammate grade or whatever it was, I got a VC bonus. So I wanted to make sure I was doing that. At this point though, as you'll see from this clip, I mean, look at what I'm shooting in MyCareer. Yes, it's low difficulty, but having max shooting in MyCareer is honestly very overpowered. Here, as you can see, we're doing the jersey swap and the end of the game, getting our badges maxed out. So this isn't really only for VC, but we're also getting, look, there's gold limitless range just from playing MyCareer and another 760 VC. This must have been when I started simming to games, because as you can see, it's the in-season tournament courts in the background. And with the simming option, I don't know if you guys know this, but you only have to play 12 MyCareer games per season and then win the championship. And every championship you win, move farther up in the GOAT rankings, which gives you VC, but you also get like clothing items and stuff like that. But for this specific challenge, I'm only interested in the VC. So we're getting through seasons, trying to win championships, all while my players averaging like 60 points a game, because MyCareer is super easy. But like I said in part one, I'm only doing this until I'm good enough to play online consistently. I mean, if I was able to get rec fill teams, I'd be doing that already. Yeah, this must have been right where I started simming games. As you can see, I'm going to sim to the next key game, and it's going to stop me for an NBA Cup Finals game. And again, since we've been playing so much MyCareer, we do have some new endorsements to claim. So we're going to sign with Gatorade. That'll give us 2,000 VC. And then we're going to go over and sign with Kia for 1,800 VC. And then finally, we're going to get our last endorsement, signing with 2K for another 1,600 VC. And I don't want to use that quite yet. I was saving up some VC so I could do a bigger upgrade, but we're back in the MyCareer games. Throwing oops to Braun from half court. The father-son connection is there. It's kind of crazy. And the even crazier part is Bronny is going to end up leading LeBron to a title this year. But after that game, there's another one of those in-season tournament games down. And it also means we're going to end up adding another 817 VC to the bank after that one. Definitely not going to complain about that, especially with how easy these games are. And then we're into these NBA Cup Finals games. Doesn't mean too much, but it is a nice change of scenery, especially when you're playing AIs over and over again every game. And it really does get to be a lot. I mean, I've played more MyCareer the last couple weeks than I have since probably 2K20, honestly. But there was 2 finals games. Here we beat the Knicks. End up going to the post-game press conference. Had some chances to add more fans to help our endorsements, which is definitely something I wanted to shoot for, because long-term those endorsements are going to help pay out. And then we do end up getting some VC for winning the NBA Cup. But with all the stuff we've earned and all the games we've played, it is time to do some upgrades. So after all that, we have 14,594 VC to use for upgrades. And we're going to go ahead and put that on ball handle, speed with ball, and perimeter defense. It might have been better to upgrade one category, but honestly, there's a few different things I want to be working on. And I did know at this point that I was going to be playing rec later on in the night, so I wanted to get my ball handle up so I could move a little bit, but also the perimeter so I could play some defense. Honestly, I sound like a broken record, but anything that is not going to make me a liability playing online, because obviously I don't want to be playing MyCareer, but it is the fastest method to be able to make us compete online. First rec game, I ended up getting a 13-3-3 performance, which is really good for only being in the 70s overall. I did drop a crazy video on this. Check that out. Little shameless plug if you guys want to see this full gameplay. That was a ton of fun. Brought all 5 of the Lakers starters to the rec, and I maxed my shooting for a reason. I was hitting shots out here. This game, teammates ended up leaving, but I did put up a good 15-point performance. Had to throw that in there. I was really going crazy on a 70, whatever I am, 3 overall. We're definitely moving up the ranks though, getting better, starting to be able to compete online a little bit. This is where this build and this series starts to get really fun. After those games though, I did want to upgrade a couple more things. I have 1,596 VC to use at this point. So I'm checking stuff out, seeing what's going to work. I don't really have enough to upgrade perimeter very high, but we are going to add a couple to that. But after that second rec game, my team did end up getting off. I didn't have anybody to play with, couldn't get matchmaking, so I went back to MyCareer. 800 VC that last game, and then as you can see, another 768 after beating the Nets. I can't even lie, they make it so difficult to do these no money spent series. It is such a grind trying to get your build able to be playing online. And even once you barely hit that threshold, it's hard to get teammates, it's hard to keep people on. So basically, when you're not very good, like this build is, you have to play a ton of MyCareer, which honestly gets very boring after a while. This was the end of one of the days I was playing. I have 4,489 VC to use, and I'm gonna do an upgrade real quick before the end of the day. Throw a couple more more on speed with ball, a couple more on perimeter defense, and that leaves that day at a 74 overall. We're getting right into the next day, starting out with the daily spin again. I've got so much free VC. I keep saying it over and over again, do your daily spins. I've got so much during this series for this, and all you got to do is log in and run over here. Another 1,000 free VC, and the week did end up resetting during this. I don't remember exactly what day it does reset, but I got my weekly race back. Anytime it's available, I'm taking that free 2,500 VC every single time. But just wanted to throw this in there so you knew that I did do it, and that's where the VC came from. And after the daily spin and the race, we are getting right into another upgrade. At this point, I really wanted to start getting my finishing up because I'm going to be doing a lot of back cuts out of the corner if I'm playing Pro-Am or anything like that. We have 3,623 VC for upgrade, and we're going to go ahead and use that on finishing to get our driving dunk to a 76, which is way better than the base rating it was at. And then we are right back into MyCareer over here, beating the Wizards by 30 and adding a nice little 766 VC to the bank. This was a home game, but then we also ended up playing the Wizards again on an away game back to back. Again, getting our badges up to gold. You really love to see it. And I'm also sure I'm getting my hotspots. I haven't really checked, but I'm shooting like 80% every single game. So I'm sure once we do end up consistently bringing this build to online modes, I'll have my hotspots, which will make shooting even easier. I also ended up finishing an NBA daily quest for 500 VC. Might not seem like much, but it is just another bonus on top of playing MyCareer. I am trying to keep these MyCareer clips quick, just showing you that I did get the VC, that I played them. Gotta include them so you know where it's coming from. And there's a lot of clips to include with how much MyCareer I'm playing. But as I got them playing in the background, I believe this is the point where season 1 was coming to an end. About to get into the playoffs. As you can see, we did end up winning Rookie of the Year. Get a nice little VC bonus for that. And then we are gonna get back into our upgrades, trying to get finishing up as high as possible. At this point, we have 4,822 VC to use, and we are putting that right on driving dunk to get it all the way up to an 88. And we still have about 600 VC left over after this. And like I said earlier in the video, almost maxed our driving dunk. I threw this clip in here just with the end season awards. We did end up winning MVP and Rookie of the Year, averaging 55 points a game. We also finished with an insane record. JJ ended up winning Coach of the Year also. And I simmed most of the playoffs down to the finals because we didn't really need anything from any of the series before that. There was no key games or anything like that. And like I told you earlier, I'm trying to get through these seasons as fast as possible, move up the GOAT ranks, get our VC. That's what we're really in this for. But ended up beating the Knicks in the finals. And as you can see, the Lakers are running out. Bronny carried the Lakers to a championship, averaged like 50 plus in the finals. I don't remember what the exact number was. Nothing too crazy. It is MyCareer, but I always love these end of the year animations they show. And more importantly, we're able to add some more VC to the bank and then get to the off season where you can do some other quests to get a bunch of VC. But there's another 773. Walking out of the tunnel after that last finals game, we get some clothes, our ring, we get our Jordan endorsement deal for 1,000 VC. And then into our off season, we ended up going to this FIBA game. I saw something in the off season quest saying if you finish the FIBA games, then in your second off season you could compete in the actual FIBA tournament and win 25,000 VC. And as soon as I saw there was 25,000 VC on the line, I definitely decided that's the path I'm going with. So I went ahead and played that first game in my first off season, got a nice little 700 VC. And also during the off season there was something for a media day photo shoot right before the start of the next season, so I made sure to do that. None of the preview photos were working, but I did end up getting 2,500 VC just for doing that. And then we are right back into it, gonna get some upgrades. We have 7,069 VC to work with, and we're going right back to the ball handle and speed with ball. Gonna end up getting both of those to an 82, and do still end up having a few hundred VC left over after all of that. And we are now a 75 overall. And here's where I said I want to get through the seasons as fast as possible. Here's a clip from the end of my first key game, and then the second. Now that we're in the second season, we only have to play 10 more games at this point to win season 2, get us some more GOAT points, get us moving up the ranks. My main goal at this point is to get the 6 championships, which if I only have to play 12 games each season, that's not all that much. And then I'll get like 20,000 VC from becoming the GOAT and 10,000 from something else. It's all in the quest, and you guys will see it as it comes along. But with a couple MyCareer games and finishing that side quest, we do have some VC to play with. We have 2,598 to use, and we're going to go ahead and upgrade our steal and get us to a 76 overall. And we're moving along nicely. Like I said though, these overalls, the more you go up, the slower they go. So I've probably put more time into episode 2, but I've only got 5 overalls compared to episode 1 where I got 11. And this was the next day here. As you can see, we're doing our daily spin again. And yet again, we are going to come over here and get free 1,500 VC. And then I did take the day off. All I did was sign in to get my daily spin. So this is the next day with my daily spin again. Like I said though, even if you're not playing, sign in, just do the daily spin. Because today we're going to end up getting 2,500 VC. So we literally just got 4,000 VC in 2 days for not doing anything except for clicking A. And now we have 4,130 VC to use, and we're going to go into steal again with a little bit of speed. Now I do want to do a quick recap at this point. We are a 76 overall. We got our driving dunk maxed. We have our three-pointer maxed. We have our ball handle and speed with ball both in the 80s. We've started to upgrade our defense. We got some perimeter going. We got our steal going up, and we have our physicals moving. We are making great progress, all without spending a dime. I'm having a ton of fun doing this series, but it is taking a lot of time, so I'd appreciate if you drop a like, drop a sub. It's free and it helps out a lot. Next episode, we will be playing more online. I just need to be able to play random rec, and once I can actually matchmake and get teammates, it'll be way easier to play those online modes. But we are definitely getting there, and I'm bringing you guys along for the entire journey. We are leaving this episode with 128 VC, which we will carry into next episode. If you watched all the way through, I appreciate it, and I will catch you in the next one.